Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you're watching me from, I say good morning. Saturday, the 7th of October. All right. Wherever you're watching me from, I say good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, your time. I'm about 10 minutes early. I'm supposed to start 8:30. I'm starting early so that I can finish early today. All right, I'm not going to waste much of your time today. I'm going to be online for about 45 minutes or maximum to an hour. So that is why I have to start early. And I have to, as you can see, there's a change of program in terms of topic, what I'll be discussing today. That's the last minute change that I have to do so that it's going to fit in between my time. I'm allotted 1 hour today. So uh, probably minimum on 45 minutes. So about 1 hour I'm going to spend in on today's program. All right. So if this is your first time to come to my channel, I thank you. If you've not subscribed to my page, kindly do so. And give me a thumbs up at the end of this video if you like the video, the content. All right. And also do not forget to leave your comment and also share the page to your friends. So, friends, as you can see, I'll be discussing ways to manage type 2 diabetics without the gym. All right. So, when you see T2D, when you see anywhere like in my screen, you're going to see T2D. That means type 2 diabetics. All right. Without the gym. So, that is what I'm going to be discussing. Um, in my previous uh, presentation, in my previous videos, I've said it several times. It is not necessary that you must be on medication to control your diabetes. There are thousands and thousands of diabetic people that are not on medication, but they are managing their diabetes very well. Without being on medication, it takes discipline and commitment for you to be able to be out of medication and controlling your sugar level. So there are ways you can manage your type 2 diabetics without the gym. So today I'm going to be discussing some of the ways that you can live and manage your type 2 diabetes or give a care to somebody that is living with type 2 diabetes. You're a caregiver and you have patients, a son, a daughter, or a parent, a family member, or a friend that is living with type 2 diabetes or diabetes in general. So this is for you. If you cannot afford the medication, all right, then there are other ways you can live and manage your type 2 diabetes, all right, without necessarily going to gym. If you cannot also afford, all right, if you cannot also afford going to gym or have a gym membership, all right, you can afford to pay for gym membership. There are ways you can manage your type 2 diabetes. Remember, diabetes, all right, that living with diabetes takes a lot of commitment and a lot of discipline. All right. Once you're out of your doctor's office, all right, you are leaving that office in trust that whatever advice he gave you or treatment or schedule he or she gave you at the office, and you're leaving that office, you are leaving that office in trust that you are going to be disciplined and then manage your type 2 diabetes very well, very, very well and carefully. Because if you cannot, as soon as you leave the doctor's office and you feel that you are free to go back to what you are doing and say nobody's watching me, at the end of the day, you are the one to pay the ultimate price, not the doctor. All right, you are the one to pay the ultimate price, and that is why it deals with self-discipline, commitment to manage your diabetes without the gym or even without the medication. So that is what I'm going to be discussing today. What are the ways to manage your type 2 diabetes without the gym? All right. Since I was diagnosed since 2000, I've been living with diabetes that is well controlled, medically controlled. Most of the time, I'm not on medication, because consecutively for the past number of years, 5, 6, 7 years, my sugar level has been consistent. No changes, no elevation, no side effects, no complications. It takes a lot of commitment and discipline. All right. So at times, at the beginning, you're going to combine with your medications, your exercising, and then your diet. You're going to balance everything. It's a nerve wracking for you to be a diabetic. It's not an illness I'm going to wish even to the worst enemy, because it changes your cycle. It changes the way you live, the way you do things. Okay, you are always conscious of what you eat and what not to eat. All right. So it changes your cycle as a human being, how you operate, how you live. It also psychologically affects the family members you live with. Or if you have a wife or a husband or children, it affects them psychologically, because now your dieting is going to change. Okay. All eyes on you to make sure you are following the doctor's direction to manage your type 2 diabetes. So, having said that, I'm going to go into the ways uh, to manage your type 2 diabetes without the gym. In the meantime, if you have any question, all right, if you have any question, shoot it across and I'm going to answer it. If you have any question relating to diabetes, complete diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, or related ailments that has to do with diabetes, shoot it across, and then I'm going to do it, try to, as much as I can to answer your questions, and then you take it from there. All right. While I'm waiting for people to come online, let's see what are the ways you can live and manage type 2 diabetes without the gym. All right. So, um, any question, feel free to ask me any question. If you have any question, feel free to ask any question. All right. Before we go into details on answering the questions or giving details on ways to manage type 2 diabetes without the gym. All right. Okay. Number one. All right. I've given intros. Number one, the way to manage your type 2 diabetics without the gym is uh, move during the walk. Number one is move during your walk break. I'm going to just discuss it. If you're a type 2 diabetics and you are working, you have a job you are doing, remember, in general, you have to be moving around all the time. If you're a diabetic, you are not supposed to be staying in one place for a longer period of time. You're supposed to have a job that allows you to move around. Even if you don't have a job that allows you to move around, you got to inculcate it, put it into your schedule at work. That number one way to control my type 2 diabetes is during my work period, I should move around. Design a formula that makes you to move around. So, okay, if you are standing in front of computer all day, 9 to 5, design a formula that says every 20 minutes I'm going to get up and walk around. Just design a plan that makes you to get up from your desk and walk around for 5 minutes and come back to your desk and continue. That is number one. If your job requires you to spend a lot of your time in front of computer, okay, I've heard that sitting is the new smoking, so I have to adopt a new way to make sure I move during the work. Okay, so I'm going to give you one formula. All right, it's called Pomodoro technique. All right. Um, let's see. As I said, if your job requires to spend a lot of time in front of computer, you've heard that sitting is the new smoking. So I've adopted a new way to make sure I move during the work day. All right. You have to make sure you design a plan during your work schedule. So, as I said, the number one ways to manage your type 2 diabetics without a gym is move during your work break. Okay? Move during your work break. If you're a diabetics, okay? Uh, Iman, you are welcome. You're welcome. Inam, you're welcome. Sorry, I made a mistake in the spelling. And now I make a mistake in your spelling of your name. Okay. So what I was saying, we are discussing ways to manage your type 2 diabetes without a gym. And then, as you know, if you're diabetics, you are not expected to be in one place all the time. And that is why they ask you to be active, involved exercising in the management of your type 2 diabetics. So not everybody is on medication. There are thousands of people living with diabetes that are not on medication. They control the diabetes with exercising. But it takes a lot of discipline and commitment for you to be out of medication and controlling your diabetes with exercising. So there are ways to manage your type 2 diabetes without even going to the gym, even if you cannot afford to pay for the gym. There are ways for you to live and manage your type 2 diabetics. So that is what I'm discussing today. And I said number one, okay, is now, since I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 2000, I have learned over the years that physical activities is the key to helping me manage my blood sugar level. Okay, blood sugar level. It also helped me to sleep well and keep my stress levels under control. But I don't belong to a gym. Here are 5 ways to get exercise without a price, without a pricey gym membership. Okay, so that is what I'm discussing today. Now, number one, as I said, is you have to move during your work break. If you are living with diabetics or you are a caregiver, you have somebody that is living with diabetes in your home. Number one is if you have a job that you are always in one place, 9 to 5, you don't move around, you have to design a plan that can make you to move around while you're at work. Okay, if you are working 9 to 5 and you stay in front of computer and you don't move around, try to design a plan to make sure you move around while at work. As a diabetic, you are not expected to sit one place all the time. It doesn't help you in managing your diabetes. Remember, when you sit one place all the time, it helps to build up your sugar level. All right, that is why they say physical activities is very important. You have to exercise because when you exercise, it helps to control your sugar level. Because once your body is in active mode, okay, it mops the excess sugar that in your bloodstream and then store them into your cells and livers, okay, and release them back to your bloodstream when you need it. All right. So number one tip is to move during your work break. So if you are in a if you are in a workplace where you don't have enough time to move around, make sure you design a plan that makes you to move around during your work. Okay. So you can walk. Some people will set up a time, say, okay, every 10 minutes or every 20 minutes, they'll get up from their desk and move around. Some will set it every 30 minutes, they will get up and they move around for 5-10 minutes and come back to their desk. So now, if what the hell is going on? So now, if your job requires you to spend a lot of your in front of a computer, there's something they call is sitting, is smoking. It's the new smoking. So I've adopted a new way to make sure I move around during my work day. There's something they call Pomodoro technique. There's one technique called Pomodoro technique. Okay. There's one method I use. Okay. It is called, let me type it. One method I use. Let me type it so you can understand. So I use a method known as Pomodoro technique. Okay. I set a timer for 25 minutes, silence my phone, and totally focus on one thing I need to get done. All right. So now, when this Pomodoro technique, okay, this Pomodoro technique, when the timer goes off, So when the timer goes off, I take 5 minutes break. Okay. So once you set your clock, this Pomodoro technique, once I set my timer for 25 minutes, okay, and then you silence your phone and then focus on what you're doing. So once the timer goes off, you take 5 minutes break. And what that 5 minutes is, this usually involves going downstairs. When I take 5 minutes break, it involves going downstairs and waiting for the kettle to boil so I can have another cup of tea. All right. So once you take 5 minutes break, your 5 minute break can be going downstairs or walking up the staircase. All right. Or before you walk down the staircase outside, you go to your kitchen in the workplace, put water in the kettle to boil it. While you go down, so by the time you come up, the water has boiled, so you do your tea. Okay. So now you either walk at a fast clip around the kitchen island or stretch hamstring. So while you are waiting, if you cannot go downstairs or you don't have the energy to walk downstairs, walk upstairs. While you are boiling the water in the kitchen, you can do some hamstring stretching. You can stretch your fingers, play with your wrists, stretch your fingers, do some small stretching of your nails, bend down, your heels, do a little exercise. Those things that you neglect, those little movements you are doing in the kitchen while you are waiting for the water to boil, help to manage your type 2 diabetes. To you, it might be nothing, but little movement you do, okay, sends a message to your brain, to your blood, that you are now in active mode. Those little exercises you do helps in assimilating the excess sugar that in your bloodstream and store them into your cells. That is why you see that anytime you change a position, your body has a technique. It's like a computerized body. Once you start running now, your body you see your heart rate will change, your breathing will change, your blood flow will change. Your body can sense that you are in active mode and then change your heart, your heart rate beating. When you are sitting there in one place, you see that your body is going to change to fit into that position you are. When you start jogging, you see that your body is going to change, your temperature is going to change. So those little exercises that you see that it is nothing, those 5 minutes you took, and you say, oh, what is 5 minutes? I'm stretching my nails, I'm stretching my hips and my hips, I'm stretching my legs. You think it is not? It helps a lot. Any slightest movement you make helps the management of your type 2 diabetics. So do not neglect when you are standing in the kitchen or you're walking downstairs or walking upstairs, those little movements you are walking around the office helps in managing your type 2 diabetes than when you are sitting in one place all day. Okay? So that is what is called Pomodoro technique. Okay? All right? So if much of your day is spent on computer, take a break every half an hour. So or so, and move your body. You could do a few yoga yoga poses or run up and down staircase. So if your workplace has a staircase, you can just walk downstairs. Go up or go downstairs. So those little exercise you do, those little movement you do, helps in managing your type 2 diabetes. Do not neglect every minute, every 2 minutes or every 5 minutes you do at work to change your position. It's okay. I get up from my desk, let me walk around, and you are neglected. To you, it might be nothing to you, but to your body, that little movement you are doing helps in managing your type 2 diabetes. So you have to use that. It's called Pomodoro technique. All right. So that is number one. Is you have to move during work break. Okay. So number one is if you are having a work that you're going to sit in front of computer for 9 to 5, you're not moving, you don't have enough movement. Try as much as you can to design a plan to fit into your work schedule. That every 20 minutes, every 25 minutes, every 30 minutes, or every 10 minutes, you have to leave what you are doing to move around and then come back and continue what you are doing. Those little exercises helps a lot. Do not neglect those little exercises. It helps a lot. So number one ways to manage your type 2 diabetes is to move during your work break or even before your work break. Just make out time, okay, and move around. So let's go to number two. Number two is take short walk after meal. Okay, that is self-explanatory. I've said it several times in my video. Take a short walk after meal. All right. If you are used to taking your meal and then after meal you go to bed or you just sit, it is not advisable to just go to bed or sit down when you finish taking your meal, even if you're at work or at home. Anytime you finish your meal, that is why it's advisable to take your meal early. So by the time you go to bed, those meals have your body have assimilated and digested those foods. Okay, do not eat late meal because if you eat late meal, by the time you go to bed, you have a shorter period of time to go to bed. So your body might have not digested the food. So that is why it's advisable to eat your food early, and after you finish taking your meal, take a short walk. Okay, once you finish taking your meal, go out in your compound, walk around your compound, play with your kids. Okay, if you have a football in your compound, play with it, kick it around. If you have a basketball, play with just jog with those basketball. Anything that can make you to move around, exercise, sweat after meal is advisable. So take a short walk after meal. It is very important to take a short walk after meal. Okay. So number two, as I was saying, is take a short walk after meal. Okay. You guys have any question? If you have any question, feel free to ask me those questions. So number two is you take a short walk after meal. When you finish your meal, it is not advisable to go to bed. When you finish your meal, it's not advisable for you to just go and sit in your couch, lie down. Make sure you eat early before you go to bed. I have said it, eat before 7 p.m. Take your last meal before 7 p.m. Any meal you are taking after 7 p.m. should be in form of a snack or vegetables. Okay, those are rich in fiber and does not affect your digestive problem. But once you eat a heavy food after 7, and then you have a shorter period to go to bed, digestion becomes an issue. And again, it's going to also help in building up a sugar level in your bloodstream. So it's advisable anytime you take a meal, either at work or at home, take a short walk. Go out of your home, walk around the compound, find something to do. Something that's going to make you to sweat a little bit. Something that's going to make you to help in your digestion process. Okay, because that is most advisable. Take a short walk after meal. Walk around your compound, or if you don't have a large compound, if you are living in a shared compound, go walk up, go in the street, go around, walk around your neighborhood, walk around in your street. Okay, take a 5 minutes walk. Okay, that helps a lot. And then when you come back home, you take a shower and then relax and then watch your TV. But make sure that after meal you walk around. That helps in the management of the type 2 diabetes. Okay, that is self-explanatory. I've said it several times. Anytime you take a meal, make sure you walk around, either at work or at home. Don't take your meal and you just go and lie down, sit down. No, it's not advisable because there's going to be a lot of buildup of sugar in your bloodstream. So the best thing to do is to exercise, walk around, even if it's 5-10 minutes walk in your street, in your compound. If you have a football, play with it. If you have a son, run around the compound. If you have a basketball, jog around with it. Anything that is going to make you to be active for that 5-10 minutes after meal is advisable, and it also helps in lowering your sugar level and it also keeping in check your type 2 diabetes. So I'm not going to dwell too much on this because it's self-explanatory. Let's go to number three. Number three is get out in the garden. Okay. I've said it. I think in my previous video, get out is in the garden. It's like a farm. Okay. So if you cannot afford to go to gym and you're type 2 diabetes, do you know going to a farm solve the whole problem? Because when you go to a farm to tilt, clear the grasses, weed all the grasses away, do some small tilting of the soil, planting of the seeds. Okay, that is it's even better than going to the gym. So if you're an elderly parent, okay, I don't have that energy to go to the farm anymore, but you have a small farm in your compound, be active in that garden. You have a small garden. Just go in there, do some weeding of the grass, the grass, weed out all those unwanted grasses there. Try to make sure your plants are growing according to where you set it. Do some seeding, do some watering. You have to water the gardens, or you have a flower in the compound. Okay, you see that your flowers are turning yellowish and you need to, fertilize it or weed them or water it. Just find something to do in the garden. Those little exercises, okay, helps in monitoring your sugar level and also helps in managing your type 2 diabetes. So get out in the garden, find something to do. If you know you're an elderly parent or you don't have the energy to go to the farm, and you have a small garden in your compound, or you have a small flower, those that live in a big compound and they have a flower pot. Okay, get out of the compound, do some watering, do some weeding, something, redesigning the garden. Okay, fertilizing some areas that need fertilizing, okay, setting the blocks according to the way, anything that can make you uh, involved in physical active, okay, it is necessary. That thing you are doing in the garden solve the problem because now your body is in the movement, it's in active part. You are sweating, okay, you're not domiciled in one place, you're moving around, you are looking healthy. Those things helps in checking your blood sugar levels. Those things helps in monitoring your type 2 diabetes. It's something like going to the farm. If you're a man that still have the strength to go to the farm and you cannot afford to go to the gym, that farming solves the problem of going to the gym because by the time you go to the walk to the farm and come back, you've burnt out almost everything. You're looking physically fit. Okay. As long as you make sure, all right, your sugar level doesn't go below the normal level, so they don't have hypoglycemia. All right. So, but that farming alone solved the whole thing. So any slightest, don't regard any small exercise, any small active exercise as nothing. To you, it might be nothing, but your system and your diabetes mix a lot. All right. So that is why you have to be active. And every doctor is going to re-emphasize all the time. Try to be active. Active is very important if you have type 2 diabetics or type 1 diabetics. So the third point is get out in the garden. Involve in the garden if you cannot afford to go to the farm. Okay. Gardening is a lot of physical activity. It has a lot of physical activities, whether you are digging, pulling the weeds, turning the compost, lifting bags, big bags, mulch, or pushing a lawnmower. Okay. Being outside in the sunshine also gives you a boost of vitamin D, which is important in the healthy bones and teeth. So take the added steps of growing your own vegetables and herbs in your garden. So it is fun and rewarding and so beneficial for your diet. So all these things I'm giving you guys is very, very important to be in the garden. Okay. Um, so uh, let's see number one point of being in the garden. Okay. So it's very important. So this is the importance of getting out in the garden. Okay, remember I said that I'm on number three, and number three, get out in the garden. And why did I say getting out in the garden? Okay, getting out in the garden. Why it is important? It helps you to manage your type 2 diabetes. And I said number one is gardening is a lot of physical activities. Whether you are digging, pulling the weeds, turning the compost, lifting big bags of mulch, or pushing the mower. Okay, it involves physical activities. That's number one point. The number two, okay, is Being outside in the sunshine also gives you the boost of vitamin D, which is important to healthy bones and teeth. Okay. And the number three is take the added step of growing your own vegetables and herbs in your garden. It is fun, rewarding, and so beneficial for your diet. So this is the reason why. So the third reason why, uh, uh, Gloria, you're welcome. Watching from Zambia. Welcome, Gloria. So we are still on number three. I'm going to reverse it one more time. And what are the importance of why do I say getting out in the garden helps in managing your type 2 diabetes? As a Ghanaian, and I said the point that I made is number one is garden is a lot of physical activities, whether you are digging, pulling weeds, turning the compost, lifting big bags of mulch, or pushing the lawnmower. All these are all physical activities. It helps you in managing your type 2 diabetes. Okay? Because now you are active. Okay? Your body is now mopping up all the excess sugar that's in your bloodstream and then store them into your cells and liver and then release them back to your body when you need it. All right. Now, number 2 point is that because being outside in the sunshine also gives you the boost of vitamin D. We know the importance of vitamin D to our healthy bones and teeth. All right. And the number three is that you are growing your own vegetables. We all need vegetables as a source of our fiber. Vegetables are a source of our fiber. So you are growing your own vegetables and herbs in the garden. It is fun, rewarding, and also providing the benefit of your own diet. So these are the reason why you have to uh, get out in the garden. So you see, I've given you guys number 1 point, number 2 point, and this is number three. So let's get to number four. Why another way to manage your type 2 diabetes without the gym. So let's go to number four. Let's go to number four. Number four says try exercise videos. Okay, try exercise videos. Now, there are a lot of exercise videos on the internet, on the shops, in the market. You can buy them. So you can download them in your phone, you can download them in your computer, and then you can also play them in your TV in your comfort of your home, and then watch those exercise videos and then do it, and then follow the direction in that video, and then do your exercise in your home. So that is why I try exercise videos. So if you know you cannot afford to pay the monthly fee of the gym, and then you feel that you don't have any gardening at home or you don't have any farm to go, you can try the exercise video. There are a lot of exercise videos that are free on the internet online that you can download on your phone, on your laptop, your iPad, and even play them on your TV. So in the comfort of your home, you can sit in the comfort of your home, get up without any disturbances, play those videos on your TV, in your laptop, and then watch it and then follow the direction of the teacher and then do those exercises by yourself at home. So that is why I say try exercise videos. From those exercise videos, you will learn a lot of tips. You can learn some exercise uh, types that you are not aware of that are very simple that you can do at home. You don't need to go and buy exercise machine. Okay, you can even do them at home to still arrive in the same result as somebody going to the gym. So that is why you have to try those exercise videos. Okay, try the exercise videos. Okay, it could be in form of yoga, aerobics, so or some strenuous cardio routines or resistance training. All right, so it is very important you try those exercise videos to learn it at home. Do we have any question? I'm waiting for questions. If you have any question. Before I go for the model, do you have any question before I continue on this exercise video? Because the exercise video is very explanatory, so I don't need to explain much. I believe most of you have those exercise videos in your phone that you do watch from time to time. Okay, so watching those exercise videos on your laptop or your TV will help you a lot. All right, to practice some cardios, some strenuous cardio exercises, or some resistance training, or some yoga aerobics. That is why. So those you don't need to spend much. You don't need to buy some. You don't need to go and invest your money buying some machine. So you can try those exercise videos and learn some technique. And then in the comfort of your home, in your compound, you can now practice it and follow the direction of the teacher to do some of those exercises. All right. So let's go to number 5, which is go for hike. Okay, we know the meaning of hiking. Those that like hiking. Okay, hiking is also one way of being physically active. You can go for hike. You know, get out of your home, drive to a point, drive to an area, park your car, and then go into a park and do some hiking, sightseeing. Those hiking helps a lot in the management of your sugar levels. Those hiking, by the time you do walk around in the park, you know, with all the climbing of the hills and coming down, with all uh, the rigorous area of the mountain elevation in the parks, those things helps in burning down the fat, also helps in eliminating the excess sugar that in your bloodstream, thereby reducing the sugar level to normal. But one thing you have to be very careful when you're hiking is make sure you take your sugar levels every 5-10 minutes, because your sugar level can drop at any time below the normal level. Because now hiking is not for the faint-hearted, because now you are putting your body into a strenuous exercising, because now you're going to be encountering different elevation, different terrain in the park. Okay, because once you park your car in the parking slot, lock your car, and then you enter into a park, you don't know what are the terrain, what are the elevations in those parks. Some areas you'll be climbing up the hill, some areas you'll be coming down. The roads are not straight, the roads are narrow with some bumps along the road. So those things now you are doing, all your body is now in the physical exercise mode. So your sugar level can drop at any time. Make sure you have in those, make sure you have water with you. Your, there are some belt you can have in your waistline that have a cup holder, a bottle holder for water. Make sure you have some chocolate in those bags there. Or make sure you have a small can of Coke in with you, because in the process of your hiking and in the middle of nowhere, you're not close to your car. You're almost far away from your car, where you park your car, and you're in the middle of the park. And all of a sudden, you check your sugar level, it drops, or you can see the symptoms that you are being feeling a kind of dizziness or weak, that your legs cannot carry you, and you check your sugar level have dropped. So all you need is that you need to take one of the chocolate and take to boost up your sugar level back up again. Give it about 20 minutes, it's going to come up, and then you can continue your hiking. Or if you are type 1 diabetes that depend on insulin, make sure you have your insulin there with you. So as soon as your sugar level drop, you are ready to inject that insulin to boost up your sugar level. So hiking now, you are pushing the limit. So you got to make sure you are prepared. Have everything you need with you while out far away from your car. So in case you check your sugar level drops, you have something to boost it up. Okay. So hiking, yes, I do hiking most of the time. During the summertime, I do hiking most of the time. It's one of my favorite things to do. I go to the park and then park my car. I take a weekend off, just go in there and then see different terrains, environments, feel the nature, fresh air of the nature, and at the same time being cautious of my environment, because you don't know what you're going to encounter there. So you have to make sure you are prepared. You have everything that it takes to do hiking, so that, and being a diabetic, you don't want to be far away from your car. You must know your locations at all points in time. You must have adequate your medication with you At least when you're going for a hiking, you park your car. Make sure you have a medication that's going to last you for about a week in that small waistband bag you have. Make sure you have your medication for about a week. Make sure you have some of those bags have a cup holder that you can put a bottle of water and hold it there. Make sure you have some chocolate, something that contains sugar that can boost up your sugar level once your sugar level drop. I know why I asked you to have your medication that's going to last you for a week. I've been in a situation that you go into a hiking spot, into a park, and then you're lost into you're lost in there. You can't even find your way back to where you park your car because you are walking from one end and end up in another country. I've encountered in that situation where I started in one province and end up in another province. I don't know when I crossed the boundary, the border, and then you lost your bearing. So you have to call for help. You have to try sometimes. So for you to be located, it's going to take them about, if you are lucky, they can locate you within 24 hours to 48 hours. If you are lucky, it's going to take up to a week for them to locate you. So that is why you have to have your medication with you that can last up to a week. So in case of an emergency, you can't find your way back to where you park your car, you are lost, and you trigger the alarm, at least you have your medication that can last you for a week while you are waiting for it to be rescued. All right. So that is why it is necessary to prepare if you are going for a hiking. Know your location, know your bearings, have your water, have your medication, have your sugar level booster with you. So in case if your sugar level drops, you have something to boost it up. Okay. So this is the fifth ways you can manage your type 2 diabetes without the gym. All right. Do we have any question? As I said in the beginning of my video, so I'm going to spend a minimum 45 minutes to an hour and then leave for today. And then tomorrow, Sunday, is another day to hold another program. So do you guys, anybody have any question, should feel free to ask any question. And before I go further, okay, if this is your first time coming to my page, do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my page. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content of the video, and do not forget to leave a comment, share, and subscribe. Okay, if you have not subscribed to my page, kindly do so. And then don't not forget to leave a comment. Okay, if this is your first time to come across my page, or if you're returning back to my page, do not forget to like, give me a thumbs up if you like the content of the video, and do not forget to subscribe to my page so that anytime I have a new content online, you'll be notified. All right, so do that while we continue the program. So do we have any question? Do we have any question on this topic, ways to manage your type 2 diabetes without the gym? Do we have any question? Before I do my final thoughts, okay? Before I do my final thought. All right. I'm waiting for, if we have any question, feel free to ask your questions. Let's do the final takeaway, okay? Staying active to help manage your diabetes doesn't have to be drudgery. Use your imagination and find fun ways to keep moving. No gym required, okay? As I said in the beginning of my intro, it is not necessary that if you must be on medication. because I know there are a lot of people that are not on medication, they cannot afford the medication. It's very expensive to treat diabetics. And being in the continent where you are, the affordability or the per capita income is low. Not everybody have the money to finance their treatment of diabetes. So necessarily one thing that is good with diabetes is that you don't need to be on medication to manage it. You can be on full exercise, committed exercise. At the same time, you don't need to go and pay or buy an equipment gym. If you cannot afford gym membership or you cannot have the luxury to afford gym equipment, then there are other ways you can manage your type 2 diabetes without one, being on medication, two, being physically active, but not paying for a gym. And those are the ways that I discuss. So, moving, okay, using your imagination to create a physical activity is very important. You have to be creative to use your imagination. So, you have to keep moving. You don't need to be in one stagnant in one area for a longer period of time. If you're diabetes, you have to keep moving. If you're a diabetes, remember you have to keep moving. So use your imagination to find ways you can create that can make you to move around. If you have a job that requires you to sit in one place without enough moving around, use your imagination to create ways you can keep moving. In that way, you are helping yourself in managing your type 2 diabetes. Even though you cannot afford to pay for a gym or the medication, you have to be imaginative, find a way to create, okay, without breaking the bank, going to pay for the membership or buying the gym equipment. It's all about thinking fast, thinking ahead. How do I inculcate moving around in my workplace? I'm diabetic. I need to keep it moving. I don't need to be stagnant in one place. I don't want to add more stresses to elevate my sugar level. So that is why you have to keep moving. So find a way to add exercising or moving around in your workplace. It is very important. Find a way to make sure you add moving around in your workplace. As long as you're moving around in your workplace, you are helping in managing your type 2 diabetes. It is very important you keep moving. That is my final takeaway on ways to manage your type 2 diabetes without the gym. Okay. If you have any question, okay, if you have any question regarding this topic, do not forget to send in your question through my comment box or inbox me, and I'm going to respond to your questions. Okay. If you have any question regarding this topic, diabetics, cholesterol issue, inbox me or send me a comment, and I'm going to read your comment and I'll respond at my appropriate time regarding your question. Okay. So once again, friends, I thank you guys for watching this video with me today. And I'm not going to waste much of your time. Today is weekend. Most people are with their family. So anytime you come across this video, try to watch it and learn one or two things from it. And then if you have any comment, do not forget to leave your comment. All right. And give me a thumbs up if you like the video. So I'm going to see you guys next time in my next video. Living with diabetics and managing your type 2 diabetes is very, very important. So once again, I thank you, all my important fans. Goodbye and enjoy your weekend.